Just when America has reached a breaking point with division, visionary influencer Danni Benson's I'm Proud of You Sis bro movement taps into the pulse and heartbeat of a culture radically torn. But this loving mom's voice of reason and calm has received national recognition.
How'd you balance having your children and always traveling with the Yankee organization?
When I became a dad, I said that I would always love like a mother.
I feel like I have to try certain things or act a different way because I know some people or some kids.
So join Danni Benson as she celebrates her special guests on her show and highlights their gifts and contributions to our world.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danni Benson of I'm Proud of You Sis. I am a host. Please like, share, and follow. And watch us, of course, on all streaming platforms. I read this amazing book by Jessica Sinclair. I just mentioned to her that I was in a room full of women, and somebody would talk about networking, and someone said, "Network like you mean it." And it was like, "Where's Jessica at?" I was looking in the room. I was like, "Where's Jessica Sinclair at?" And she wasn't there. But I told her, even if you weren't presently in the room physically, your name is being mentioned without you being there. So that's how much of an impact Jessica is making. And that's why I'm so excited that she's on. I'm proud of you, sis. I want to give her flowers. I mean, this is an entrepreneur, go-getter. She's a speaker. She's also a mistress MC. She's a jack of all trades, but that's, as women in this economy, we have to have different streams of income. You can't just have one. If you want to one day be this multi-millionaire, not just a millionaire, but I mean multi-millionaire. So networking is important because your net worth is your net worth. So welcome Jessica Sinclair to the show. Hi Jessica, how are you?
Hi Danni. Hey girl.
Even my babies. I know I always talk about my babies, but I'm trying to empower them so they'll be strong leaders of tomorrow.
Yes.
They even read this book.
Amazing.
So I recommend this book to all kids. It's easy reading. It's a small book.
Yes.
But it's not only the knowledge you had in school and you're learning and stuff. Even this morning I was telling my kids, like, I want you to go to school and be friends with everybody. I don't care about the color. I don't care about the creed. I don't care about the religion. I don't want you to sit there and just look at people that you assimilate with and you're friends with. Because I was like, if you want to be a future leader of tomorrow, you have to be able to walk into all circles.
Absolutely.
And not just feel comfortable in one. And that's why networking is important, because the more you meet different people, they drop gems that maybe like the network you're always around all the time may not know.
Right.
That was my experience in my life. I went to NYU and they told us when we went the first day of college, we don't care what you learn here because you're probably gonna learn everything that every college kid learns across the nation.
Right.
Our goal is for 4 years, we're going to give you a page that has 2,000 lines on it. And we want you to fill those 2,000 lines before graduation. Oh, wow. If you fill those 2,000 lines and you met 2,000 people, that will determine where you're going to go in life. And I took that with me and I ran. That's why this book is so important right now, even more than ever, with these kids stuck in like the social media and just like not really talking sometimes.
Correct.
You gotta learn how to talk. You gotta learn how to sell yourself. So let's dive into this book, Jessica. Please.
Thank you so much, honestly, for the opportunity to come back on the show.
And thank you so much for believing. You know what? We believe in each other.
Yes.
We're supporting each other. So you know what's gonna happen when we both make it?
Yes.
We're gonna remember, like, yo, these are the people who tuned in and poured into us when we wasn't like known. And it's because you know, as soon as you're known, now everybody's calling you.
Yep. Yeah, so
it's important to pour into each other. It's it's Women's International History Month, but I feel like it's Women's Month every single month because day in and day out, this is why I'm so happy I have this show. I just want to give women their flowers because a lot of women don't get their due. Sometimes I realize it's like the same circles are getting the same awards.
Yes.
And even like I went to like a panel thing. and the cost to even be
In the
sitting at a
room.
table was like over $100.
Wow.
And I was like, how in this economy, and no offense, because it's nonprofits, they have to make money because everyone
Correct.
is making money. But how can we get, how are people, there's a lot of people that needs to be in a room that can't afford to be in a room.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing about the empowerment circles, you know, it could be very limiting. And I think that what COVID did was show us that the goodness of technology with the virtuals, right? People were just doing free this, free that. A lot of people started businesses. A lot of people got unstuck because of the content, because people just needed things to do. So sometimes I reflect like, darn, COVID was honestly a scary time, but it was a time for us to just be still and slow down. And I think that's kind of where I'm at right now in my trajectory. I'm always a doer, Danni. Like you mentioned, you didn't even mention I was a nurse. You know, I'm always
You know,
on.
I didn't mention that because I didn't know if you wanted like.
No,
Like,
that's okay. It's just like I'm at a point right now. It's like a lot of self-reflection is happening. And like you said, my names are being called in rooms. That was strategic. Like you just don't wake up one day and just make it. I planted seeds. You're planting seeds with this amazing platform. And I'm just waiting for it to flourish. And I think at times we just want the instant. So right now I'm on a self-healing journey, to be honest with you. So if you guys don't really see me outside, it's because I need to do some internal work so I can be greater and be bigger, because at times I do feel very anxious, overwhelmed with processes. And because I am addicted to striving for greatness, you can really burn out. And so, you know, with this book, I'm so happy that you mentioned that name. My name was called because I've been working strategically for about 9 years, you know, showing up, events that were free, events that I had to pay a ticket, no matter what. I always use intention. And so this is a labor of love. It's very strategic that it's flat, Danni. I want it in the pocketbooks. I want it in the backpacks of the students because I didn't want it intimidating. And you mentioned that it's an easy read. Like, look at the font. Like, I'm an avid reader. And so when I looked at the font of it, I wanted to pop out, not to, you know, be too much in your face. I wanted you to be able to work the workbook, if that makes sense. It makes you accountable. It's not like your average. I call it the journal. I don't know if you guys can see where you can actually like write in the book. And so a lot of people ask me for it, Danni. It's not something that I really wanted to do. I'm like, okay, here I go, answering the community. But you really have to give the people what they want. And so they wanted something more tangible and something more experience-based. So I put my experiences in there. Like, for instance, there's a tip where you don't know how to start the conversation. I'm like, well, is there a Wi-Fi? You know, this is something that Jessica would say. So honestly, guys, research, but life experience. And so when you ask someone for the Wi-Fi, what happens next? You go know the passcode, you know what I mean? So I just wanted it to be effortless, the book. And right now the reviews are really through the roof on Amazon. So, you know, for $14 investment, yes, you're helping a sister out, but you're really helping yourself to help someone else. Every tip in there, like I said, was strategic. And so it's just great content. I'm not picked up by Barnes and Nobles and all the things. This is self-published, maybe one day. But
are you on Amazon?
Yes, I'm on Amazon, so you can grab it on Amazon. Reviews are up.
Look, let me just tell you something. A lot of people are going independent now because of the social media. Mm-hmm. You don't really. It's not that you don't really. Of course, you want to get someone, a big publisher book that's going to like
nationwide.
Push your book. You're in Target. You're in Walmart. But you know what? I feel like now these days it's like if your name is not known, they don't want to really take that investment.
They're not going to take a chance on you. I tried certain vehicles, you know, and Amazon, yes, it's a marketplace, you know, and sometimes, you know, the fees that they take are a bit much. I mean, this book is $14. Like, how much am I really making? But it's a way for me to get the information out there. So, you know, if you see me at a pop-up, just know that I'm out here just trying to catch as many people to understand the power of networking. Our community is still behind. And I think also, Danni, the pause that I'm kind of taking right now is just like, I'm always supporting people. At what point do you look at yourself and say, are you doing the right thing? Like, there's a lot of back and forth in my mind lately because I've been doing this mission work and the reception is, sometimes not where I thought it would be, but I just have to stay positive that it's going to help that one person. Today I'm going to Nassau Community College. The student alumni, they invited me, like, so, and I'm there, and I saw the invite. And I'm like, why me? And then another part is like, why not you? The students need this. So, as an entrepreneur,
You know what?
in our heads.
It sounded like you have a little bit of imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I think I do at certain times.
Let me just tell you something. I just want to let you know that you are fantastic.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that. I mean, every time I walk in a room, you just light up the room. People listen and stop and listen to you. You're a wonderful MC. You get the crowd moving. And I built a business also. I'm gonna tell you, when they say it takes like 10 years, I try to tell people that it takes that long. Because sometimes we just see the end part of someone's success. We think like, oh wow, like they did it overnight, but 9 times out of 10, it kind of just takes that much time. And I talk to other friends about this too. I don't want you to be disappointing where you're at, because even the Beyonce's in the world. I watched videos of her when she was 12 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, she was doing it at 6. Like, it's not like she was popping at 6. It's not like she was popping at 12. Right? So there goes 6 years. You know, finally, like, just no one knew who she was. And then finally, the same group stuck together. And finally, I think they became teenagers. Or something.
Yes.
Or close to like 18, 19 years old. So think about it. That's like 15 years. Right?
15 years.
And also, I want to share this with you. I had to say this to myself. I have it written in the mirror. There's 6 billion people in the world.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many no's I get, eventually I will get to my yes and my yeses. Yes. Yeah. Because not everyone is for me. Not everyone gets my vision or gets your vision.
Correct.
Not everyone. We're not. I can't have 6 billion friends. I wouldn't be able to
manage them. I can't even imagine my 4 friends. This is like,
you know what I mean?
Because life happens, and
so life happens. But I also wanted to just talk a little bit, because you are talking about mental health. There's a perception of being like a strong woman, and we always have to come out strong. And if you don't come out strong, they consider you weak. Yeah. And I look, let me tell you something. I used to work at ABC News a long time ago, and I remember my news director. I don't want to say her name. I still love you. I made a mistake during like a broadcasting cast, and I started crying, and she pulled me into the room and she told me, I don't ever want to see you as a woman cry again. I was like, what? She was like, you cry, you show weakness, people are not going to have confidence that you can do the job, because the moment you fail, you start crying, they feel like you're going to, if you fail, you're going to break down, and you're not going to be able to continue. So she was like, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you have to step on your feet to give you some sort of pain so the tears could stop. I don't care if you have to say, excuse me, I have to run to the bathroom real quick. But he was like, never let you see them, let them see you sweat. And for a long time, like, everyone thinks I am cheery. I was born like this, happy. Yeah. Everyone thinks like my life is always happy.
That's the thing, Danni, because it's like the brand, honestly, it shows this high energy individual. That is it. And so when I show up, like, hey, they're like, what's going on? Why are you weak? And it's like I said, it's very overwhelming, because I am a human, and clearly, but I was also on this hamster wheel, like, keep on going. And at one moment, I'm just like, I feel down today, and that's not okay. Like, pinch yourself, get back up. And I'm just like, no, it's okay. So I think it's understanding that you got to put yourself first, which I don't. I have a business that's always serving, every which way. My human design is a servant leader. So when do I replenish? And I think that's what I'm learning this season. Like, the quarter board, like, you guys notice there's a board behind me. I have some jargon on it, but I don't have a quarter goals right now, because I need to process some things. And
you know what? And sometimes You could even speak to my producer, Bobby. Sometimes I'm like, look, I need a break.
Yeah.
I even told him, like, you know, like, look, I am aware of myself, that
Yes.
there's times when I need a break and I can't, you know, do this for a little bit. He's very understanding and understanding, because if I'm not 100% myself, I can't serve other people.
Yes.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and there are days, like, I have like really bad days and I have to speak to myself. That is why I have a day called Self-Love Day. The reason why I love this day is
Yeah.
this. I took like a master class one time, and they gave us a bunch of sticks, and it was like 50 people in the room, and everyone gave me their sticks. And what happened, when it was my turn, I gave everyone back their sticks. And I thought I won because I got all the sticks. So you know what I found out? I lost, because the rule of the game is you have to save yourself first before you save anyone else. And I was
Wow.
like, what? They was like, yeah. And so me and you are very empathetic, giving
Yeah.
people and everything like that. But there comes a time where you have to start learning how to pour into you. And people just have to understand that. And
Stand
if you
this.
have to take a break, you have to take a break for your mental state. Your
Yeah.
body is basically telling you and communicating with you, look, I need a break. You need to give it to me, or we're gonna get to a point of sometimes no return, which is why people have mental breakdowns sometimes.
Breakdowns. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like basically the car and the engine, the light comes on and it's flashing, engine light, and you still keep driving that car like, well, I gotta get to here. I gotta get to
Correct.
here.
Like,
I
forget
don't
you,
care if there's an
gaslight.
engine light on. And all of a sudden the car's like, okay, cool. And it breaks down. You're like, oh, where'd you break down? It was like, yo, I was warning you.
Yeah.
I gave you
Yeah.
a light. So your body, your instincts is telling you, if you need to slow down, you don't need to explain that to anyone but
True.
yourself. Because I tell people all the time, you come here by yourself and you will
Going.
die by yourself. Like, no one's really put in the same coffin together, like squished up. Like, you will be, whether you die in whatever together, you're still gonna be in your own little spot, right?
Right.
So you have to, first of all, don't apologize for taking time for yourself. I think more people need to do that, because
Yeah.
now more than ever, I feel like everything is 24 hours.
Dude, I totally feel the same. Like, I will, like, okay, so it's all about time management. Like, why are you guys always on? Like, I post, I go away. Like, I even
That's
have,
what I do too.
and I challenge people, put timers on your phone, because you go through this rabbit hole. And I see my mom, and shout out to my mom, but she's like, another reel, Danni, I think the times that we're living in it's moving too fast for me. I'm kind of the old soul type of person. I think social media is causing some of the anxiety, because it's just too many platforms. Like, you got to post on this. Did I go on LinkedIn today? Did I go on this, that? And I just feel like I'm losing touch with the world. Like,
You're losing
people
touch
are not
with,
talking.
you know
Right.
what you do, you know what's happening, you're losing, I feel, I might be wrong, you're losing touch and living in the presence.
Yeah.
Like taking today in and not worried about, I gotta do this, I gotta go under this, I gotta do this reel, I gotta look at this, I gotta do this. So it's like, I feel like we're not like living, because there's always something else we have to
Something else
do.
going. And that's what I'm saying. This is not me. Like, I'm not even thinking about tomorrow right now. Like, it's so weird when your brain is like, you got to stop. You have to stop. Like you said, burning out, and seeking help is allowing me to process things, like, differently. Understanding that if I want to rest, Danni, I'm not a failure. Like, it's just so many things as the woman, like you said, the strong Black woman. I'm like, I want to rest today. I lay down. Before I got the awakening, as I call it, I'm in the bed, I'm fidgeting. I'm like, Jessica, relax, deep breath. Like, it's okay that you don't have an agenda. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think a
It
lot of
makes
us
sense
are
to me all the time.
overly packing our schedules. When we show up, we're not present. And this is, I talk about networking, right? The deep breath exercises before I go there. I can't talk to everyone. Talk to just 5. Talk to just 2. But with social media, it's like, I got to play catch up, and I'm not playing catch. I don't want that life for myself.
And then you know what,
Yeah.
and you get to choose what you want for your life. And eventually, I'm telling you right now, everyone's gonna get burned out, because our body was not meant to be on process 24/7.
All of these things are
24/7.
giving off radiation. It's giving off things that our body does not want. Meta makes me anxious. I keep on seeing adverts that I have to wear goggles to network and connect. Like, I don't want that. Like, I want to talk to Danni at an event. So the future is AI. It's always good to know a little bit about something. And I pride myself on that. And I think that also, too, could make us kind of spiral because I want to know everything. Like, that's just how I am. But I say that to say, like, traditional networking is everything for me. Like the meta groups. I don't know if you guys, know about the goggles and all the things. It's just like, can we just slow down? Like, I don't know. I just don't know.
You know what it is? Like, whoa, someone is calling me. Oh my God. Okay, so let me tell you something about this world. We can't ask other people to slow down, but we have the right to slow down ourselves.
Yeah.
And if everybody still wants to be running the race, and I give myself permission and grace to slow down. And I am fine with it. I'm at an age right now that everyone's like, "Oh, why do you look so young?" Because I look at Generation Z,
Yeah.
and I'm already telling my kids now, like,
They
you
look
want to look like
tired.
me, or you want to look like Generation Z. No offense, Generation Z, but they're on overload right now.
They are on, and I think too, Danni,
and that's why they look older.
Yes,
You know
yes.
what I mean? We weren't on overload.
No, we were in the park or reading books. Like, I'm telling you, I have a whole bin right there with all different books because that is what brought me joy before I started to be an entertainer and all the things. But you said something key. I just had a birthday, and I think I'm still
processing it.
Yes, and I think in my mind, I haven't done the things I wanted to do by a certain, so I'm getting older too. So my energy is just like, it's just different.
Don't try not to have kids. I can see why people. First of all, let me just tell you this: the whole manual of where you're supposed to be, targeting role is out the door. I tell people all the time, like, "Oh, I remember by 21, college
I had
degree.
this.
By 24, married. By 30, 2 kids and a half and a dog. That does not exist. Like, you do your own time based on your own pace. Like, the pressure of I have to be married by this age, I have to have this by this age is completely ridiculous. And if someone came up with this, maybe it happens in our parents' generation and before. There was like all these time stamps that you had to get things done by.
Right.
But this is a whole new world.
It's a whole new world.
Social media now. I can meet my guy at 50 years old. I can still party at 60 years old. I can have a kid with, with all these new technologies, like, egg freezing and IVF at, 45, 50 years old. There's no time limit to your dreams anymore. I just want to tell you this.
Thank you. I think that has,
because sometimes we feel like failure because we don't have the husband, we don't have the kids.
Correct.
Your clock is ticking. As a woman.
Yeah. And I just think that, I came from this amazing trip for my birthday. When I came back, I'm like, here we go. So, you're 39 now. I'm like, yeah. Oh, well, next year you're 4. I'm like, well, thank you for telling me.
Can you stop rushing?
Stop rushing me. Like, I think that's what really.
First of all, you don't even look like you're going to be 40. And second of all, age is just, to me, a state of mind, a state of being.
True.
Like,
I wish more people would
wouldn't
understand
even believe
that.
how old, not to say whatever. Like,
whatever it is, you look amazing, honey. And I see you with these 2 little girls. I'm like, how does she do it? Oh my goodness, Danny's out with her girl.
I'm looking cool right now, but I am on there. But I tell my kids, baby girls, my patience is not how it used to be at 21 years old. Please act accordingly, because I still have to be 100% present parent. You're gonna have to. I talk to my kids all the time because I don't have the patience anymore.
Yeah.
Then the homework. I'm just like, I'm a smart girl, but the
homework is not the same. It's like ABC equals X.
We should have a manual for kids. Like, somebody should invent something on YouTube, how to teach core to parents. I'm giving somebody some ideas because I don't even know like this math lingo. And let me just tell you something. If you don't have any kids, it's okay. I have friends who don't even want kids.
Right? And that's the thing. Like, why do you guys want this for me if I'm saying I'm okay? society wants me to conform. And I think this is another reason why I've kind of distanced myself, because I'm not a conformist. I'm an Aquarian. We do not go in a box. You can't tell me what to do. And I said, I just got to chill. I just, like I said, remove myself from those types of people. And, it's always being shown on social, like the 2.5 kid. Like, but that dream, is it realistic? Are you really living your best life? Like all of the things. But
and let me tell you about this whole image of like what people post on social media.
yeah.
Social media to me is a liar, because people be posting stuff and the next week they're getting divorced.
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
and the thing is, Danni, I root for everyone, because I do believe in the state of love, maybe the state of marriage, but I love love. I'm in the business of love, right? I love the weddings. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'll interview a client. I'm like, y'all not going to work out, but let me mind my business, right? But yeah, go on. I'm so with you. Like, you're divorced.
Let me just tell you something.
It's so
I just want to let people, because I was married before, and marriage is work. Marriage is not the wedding day. And then people don't really take their vows seriously. It's to death do us part, meaning that it also includes when shit is effed up in life, like really effed up in life. Like I sometimes people are great for the happy times. When the shit is effed up, everyone is just
They're
like,
gone.
I'm
Bye-bye.
bailing. Bye. I'm not here no more. And I'm telling people right now, if you really are not going to take those vows seriously,
don't do it.
It's okay. You could be committed. You don't have to get married.
I'm looking for, and that's it. It's so funny. I say I'm looking for a companion, and someone's like, "Oh, you're looking for a dog." And I'm like, why would you associate it with that? I want a life partner.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's important more than the institution of marriage. And so it's just so funny that
you know what it is. You want someone, because I'm starting to feel it too. I wasn't feeling it before. But now that my kids are going to 6th grade, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm starting to feel it now. Already 6th grade, okay. And then but I'm an involved parent in the school, so I'll probably be involved until they graduate senior year of high school. Nice. But I want someone to share my life with. I want someone to share my dreams with. It's like sometimes I do talk to my friends. I have guy friends, I have girlfriends. I have an abundant life, but I kind of want someone who's in the household with me, and it's not me talking to 10-year-olds all the time, and they're like, "What, mom? What are you saying, mom?" I don't like. I want to converse with someone, with an equal of mine, an intellectual,
a like-minded individual.
Intellectual. I gotta say intellectual.
So
because I am an intellectual human being, and you have to stimulate my brain cells
first. And that's to me. I am a sapiosexual. If I can't learn from you, I can't be with you. And I think it can be kind of limiting, Danni, because people want to learn from me. Men want to learn, and I'm just like,
and they're sucking you dry, Jessica. They're sucking you dry, but they're not pouring back into you.
No, and I'm telling you, it's like I saw the motif from the nursing, from the MC, from the author, from the speaker. I will give you what you need. So with that being said, I challenge your viewers to seek professional help. There's counselors, there's advisors. We spoke a little bit about on my podcast about the reach.
Jessica, shout out your podcast and let people know where they can find it also.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Danni. So that is Respectfully Candid on Apple and Spotify. Shout out to Rashawn Banjo. He's my co-host, who really is so passionate about telling the stories of individuals, but through and through a mentor. He's such a great guy, and we're collaborating. Actually, Danni, network like you mean it. Boop, boop. We all three met at the same event. So guys, I can't make this up, man.
Yeah, I'm so happy and so blessed I met you, Jessica, because
me too.
You are a light to me, and I hope we will intentionally start, working together and collaborate with one another.
I see synergies, and that's important too, to see the synergy and to know that if it doesn't happen today, it's going to happen also in the future for the young folks that are tuning in too, Danni. And I think you said that earlier. There's a time and a season for everything. Plant the seeds. Plant the seed. Volunteer. I talk about how that makes me feel so good because it's selfless work, and people ladies and gentlemen, will never forget how you make them, how you
How you
made them
make them
feel.
feel.
I think Maya Angelou, I'm quoting
Said
her.
that.
It's like my day-to-day motif because it's important. It helps me to keep going. Like how you said, oh, Jess, somebody said something to you. I smile. My universe needed to hear that affirmation, you know, because I'm here with you today smiling. But like I said, I'm doing some journey work. And today's a good day. And I'm happy to say that. Like you said.
And Jess, I want you to know, because people, you know, people ask me like if I'll get married again. Like people think like a woman end all be all is to be a wife and
identify. Yes, their identity.
So therefore, if you don't have those two things, and
you're
whatever you do in life, you're not
nothing
successful.
Exactly. I'm telling you, Danni, this is why.
No, I know this. You know, I got, believe me, I was like a career person, and I wasn't thinking about marriage. I wasn't thinking about kids. It was career, kids, until like my parents kept bugging me like, did you forget that you have to get married and have kids? I was like, no, I didn't. I mean, like, I get it. Like, it has to be done, but there's goals that I want to, accomplish and complete, and nothing to say about marriage and kids, but it kind of slowed me down from reaching my pinnacle, because I was the wife. I was a submissive wife. I was the involved mom, the children, the wife, and everything like that. And my parents told me like I had to put my dreams on the wayside. And be that. And I'm here to tell women, I'm not telling you don't have to get married and you don't have to have kids, but I'm telling women like you could write your own story.
Right.
It's your own story. You decide the beginning, you decide the middle, you decide the end. Don't let people project on you and make you feel that you're not as fulfilled. Do you understand what I mean?
Projection is everything. And I'm telling you, Danni, I came back and it was like self-reflection times a million, from the family, the workplace. Oh, you're going to work less hours? Yeah. Like even that took a toll on me, because society says you have to show up and work corporate for, full time, 60 hours. But don't you have to survive?
Jess,
don't worry about me.
Be a nurse. You just have to keep up with the knowledge and
that's
everything
it.
else. You will always be a nurse. They can't take that away from you.
Correct.
It's just like me. I was in corporate America for so long, and then I basically like left my career to become a wife and to become a mom of twins. I like left it behind because you know what? At the time, this was my story. This was what I wanted to do. And my family was like, you're crazy. But I wanted to do this. So I don't want to get it twisted when people think like I put my goals aside. This was an intentional decision.
Correct.
For me to do, right? But you know what? Now everything is like different now. And I like I told you, I went through a depression for like a long time in bed, trying to process like everything that's happening in my life, and then of course had to appear like I'm like this happy, teary person all the time. And as soon as the lights went off, I'm like, oh my God, like my life fucking sucks,
Yeah.
And and only like my closest people like will know about this.
Correct.
Like, because everyone believes everything they freaking see on this thing. And I'm just like, please. Even Kim Kardashian cries, okay? You know what I mean? Yeah. We all cry. We're all women. We all go through our bullshit. And that includes men too. We all have feelings. We're not robots. We're not AI. So we all go through it. Okay. And plus there's filters. So everyone could be looking messed up and they put a filter on it.
And I'm just so tired of it too, where I'm not preaching. I guess that the students may think I'm preaching to them, but I tell these young girls, it's okay if you don't do Botox. It's okay if your butt is not big. It's just like, who's put that as a standard? Danni, I'm telling you, there's days I don't want to touch my phone. Like my goal, honestly, is to go back to the country. I don't know which country. And I just
You look like when you went to Jamaica, I think twice for your birthday. And I think your mom's, I'm not sure if you were in Jamaica, wherever you were, but you look so happy.
Thank you.
So free, so liberated.
Yeah.
And
that's my spirit animal.
You didn't care. Like you had your bathing suit on, and me, I would have had a sarong. I would have had like, You were like, baby girl, I am
I'm
joy.
here. Well, I call myself the child of the sun. It doesn't play with me, Danny. It's like, let's go. So that's why I know that I may not be in America for the rest of my life because of that joy. And I'm on a joy activation mission right now. And I challenge your viewers too. Shout out to Asa, who is my spiritual advisor, who is telling me to write that joy list. It's so important. It's helping me process.
So I'm
But
about to
it's
write
so
that right
funny that you
now.
picked up.
There's
Yeah.
a joy list? Oh,
Write
shoot.
your joy list down. She has me writing 30 things that will activate joy for the days when I don't feel like doing anything and I smile when I reflect on it. So she's onto something. But so are you, Danny, to see me in that element. People have told me, girl, you look so great. You know how to vacation, you know how to mix it up. Like, because I love to curate experiences, And I'm a child of the sun.
And let me just tell you something. It's okay if you take a month off and just get an Airbnb into Caribbean island.
Yes.
And just clock out.
That's it. And my girlfriend talks about micro joys where she lives literally up the block, but she Airbnbs locally. So she calls it the micro joys where she'll leave her kids at home with her husband or whomever, and she'll go, Danny, a night somewhere else. She goes, you don't understand how your
One
mind.
of my friends does that.
I want us to do it this year. I want to challenge everyone if they can find the micro joys within life. Because when she told me, because my space, I'm down here, and she says, when you leaving town? I would love to Airbnb down here. I'm like, what are you talking about? You live up the block. She goes, I show up differently in different spaces, and so do you. I challenge you to find micro joys somewhere else locally. So
I love
if you
that
can't,
word, micro-joys.
micro joys. And if you can't afford the air ticket, Danny, go up the block. There's an Airbnb in your community where you can just breathe. And
go to the country or go to the suburbs. Like
somewhere.
One of my friends does is she lives in the city, but she Airbnbs in the Hamptons, like for weekends sometimes. And she's just in the suburbs, hearing the birds, and she just wants to get away from the constant noise and chaos, and she just wants a different scenery so she can just feel like differently. That's why I love nature too.
Me too.
I saw like I knew before the clocks went back, I knew spring was coming because I heard birds chirping.
Yeah, thank God.
All of a sudden, one day, and it was her first day. One day they weren't chirping. The next day, I heard at 5 a.m, chirp, 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 chirp. I was like, oh my God! I felt alive because this is why I do honestly like living in the suburbs. I used to live in the city for a long time, but I love nature.
Yeah. So healing.
I love taking walks.
Yes.
I love smelling the air. I love seeing the trees actually like start their, whole process all over again, because we're at a point, me and you, we're at a rebirth again.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
All the dead leaves that doesn't make us flourish anymore, we need to just let them go.
Yes.
And we have to be in a safe place to understand that there will be other things that will take its space and grow again.
I think that's where the trust too comes with that. Like, I don't know if I trust this Jessica that's showing up. And I think that's the work that I'm doing.
Trust it, because even when you talked to me, you was like, oh, next month. See, when you talked to me, you were sure. This is one thing about sometimes not telling people your moves sometimes, because they project on you.
Yes.
And then now they get you full of anxiety and fear. But Jessica, you are one of the smartest human beings I know walking on this earth. Like,
thank you.
You are like a cat. If you fall, you are smart enough to navigate and still stand up on all four paws. You need to believe in that in yourself, and you need to take risk, and you need to take chances in life, because guess what? I realize, like, our time, like the older we get, I'm starting to like realize, like, oh shoot, I don't have that much time left here.
And that's it. And I'm telling you, Danny, these are the things that keep me up at night. And also, you mentioned my mom's birthday. It was so special to be around these 70 plus women who understood time. Like, yes, my mom has 5 kids. She had them young, but understands that you got to still enjoy the time that you have. And I'm there with my parents. I'm like, I'm adulting. with my parents. Like, it's so weird. Like, Dad, do a shot. It was just so mind-boggling. I forced him. He doesn't drink. But it's just like, I can never get this time back, Danni, too. So for the past 7 years, I've been showing up, for the world, but also too, there's a part of Jessica that kind of wants to just show up more for family. So, like I said, this is a different transition
because I had that during COVID,
mm-hmm.
Because everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're so close to your family. You're so close to your family. Oh my God,
so
oh my God."
close. Yeah.
Let me just tell you something. It was something intentional, and I'm so happy we did it because we'll never get this time back again. Because I realized as soon as COVID happened or whatever, then life got busy again. But we took those 2 years and intentionally made sure that our kids who are cousins got to really know each other, got to really build with each other. We spent time together. People don't understand this. It was intentional. It wasn't something that just happened because we appreciate that we lost a couple of people during COVID.
That's yep. Mm-hmm.
And they were so, they were young. Right.
Oh, God.
So I think for all of us, we know life is precious because we don't know when we're all going to die.
Yep.
We don't know. Today I could be talking to you. Oh God, please help me, Lord. Because I asked God to give me the longest life possible because I think my babies need me at least until they're 40.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I pray to God for a long life, but I don't really know his plans for me, right? So I'm being intentional now to enjoy the present. I'm even enjoying the present with my kids now. Before, it was like, oh, you got to do this. It was like a schedule.
Keep them busy because you're busy. Yeah. It's like,
now we're in the bed.
Yeah.
We're laughing together. So I intentionally picked one day a week where we don't have that's why when people text me like, where are you? We purposely, they don't have cell phones or nothing like that yet. Right. But I purposely I don't even put it do not disturb because I have a right to not pick up my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to put do not disturb. Like, you know what I mean? If I don't pick
vibrate
up,
sound off. That's what I put.
48 to 72 hours, then check up on me because I might be dead. But if it's just like a couple of hours, I tell people like, don't worry, I'm gonna get back to you. But I'm intentionally starting to I was living in a moment with my girls, but now they're like, Mommy, I'm growing hair on my legs. Mommy, I'm getting boobs. I'm like, oh my God. Because I know there's gonna be a time they ain't gonna F with me no more.
They're not gonna call you, sis. You're gonna be like, where you at? Yeah, you're gonna be like, I'm in Dubai, Mom. Duh. And I think I'm seeing that.
I'm gonna be like a has-been. Like I got like a good 3 more years. Like they're going to 6th grade. By the time they're in 8th grade, it's gonna be like, Mommy, you're not cool. Get away from me. So I had literally, I told myself, I am trying to do all these things, but I intentionally told myself I will regret it if I don't take this time right now and enjoy every single moment I have with these babies, because there's going to be a time where they're not going to want to be around me no more. I'm not going to be cool anymore, and they're not going to need me anymore because they're going to need the independence. Correct. So if you need to do the same thing for yourself, my God, give yourself permission because it is your life. You're in the driver's seat, and whoever has whatever to say, you know what? People who throw rocks should be looking in their own skeleton in their closet.
That part, yep. My mom says it all the time. We don't know nothing about what's going on in their house, but they watching you, and I think
dictating what you should be doing.
Yeah. Like,
oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and then I'm looking at their life like, girl, you should be like paying attention to what's going on in your household. And it's understandable if you care about me. I'm not disrespecting no one that if you intentionally have love for me. But I think now more than ever, it's time for everyone to write their own story.
Yeah.
And not think about, there's no such thing no more of like how it was done. No, you do it the way you want to do it because you're leaving your own fingerprint and legacy in this world. It is Jessica Sinclair. It's not Jessica Sinclair with 10
company.
Oh, but no, it is Jessica Sinclair. I decided I want to leave a legacy that my kids, you know what? I told you, I think, because I had a show with Jessica and Rashawn.
Yeah.
And I told you how I got out of my depression because I imagined me dying and I wanted, what was I leaving behind that my kids could be proud of? That's what started saying, I'm starting to do me.
Yes.
I'm starting to do me. Because there's people that's going to be at your funeral that was telling you what you needed to do your whole life. It might not even show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They might be like, well, we told you. And they might not even show up. They might not even give you that hour of the wake, another couple of hours of the funeral. And so, you know what? I need to do what I need to do for myself, because once I'm gone, I don't know if there's a reincarnation. I don't know if I'm coming back as a cat. I don't know if it's a final destination.
Yeah.
But I need to be
the unknown. Yeah.
But I need to be in that coffin saying to myself, I took advantage of all the time that God gave me.
Yeah. And I did.
And there's a lot of people that have regrets. And I don't want to be in a coffin having regrets.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. We could be in the coffin and we could really be knowing what's going on. That's why one of my favorite movies is Ghost. With,
yeah. It's a classic.
Because it's the only movie that kind of show like once you die, like you're still around, but people don't see you.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes I feel like I am gonna still be around, but you're not gonna see me physically, but you might feel my presence like emotionally or spiritually. But what I'm trying to say to you, it's okay you don't have a man. It's okay you don't have no kids. I'm hearing right now, I was speaking to a couple of my friends, like they're saying there's a new thing now, like people just find partners and they don't have no kids and they just travel the world together. Everyone is making up their story as they go.
And a lot of communities, there's like the expats, which I was telling you about, travel overseas, and people are leaving America too. So that's another thing. This American dream, no shade to the ancestors, but it's a facade. Like, I don't think it really was something that was going to make us happy. The amount of people, Danni, that I know that are leaving America, it's crazy. And it happened these past few years. It is hard.
It happened during COVID, because COVID was the first time we were able to stop.
Exactly.
With no excuses. With no, like your job always wanted you to be there. You remember when you take a day off? Where are you going? Oh, when you coming back? So you never had a time to like really sit still. But COVID made people sit still and really analyze.
I'm telling you, and it's just like I'm still analyzing home ownership very hard here in this country.
You know what? I can see you buying a property outside of the country.
Yeah.
Airbnb-ing it. And it's also your whole home away from home.
Exactly.
I just felt it in my spirit. I had to give to you.
I'm actually looking right now. So that's funny. The universe. Yeah, Danni, I'm telling you, as much as I love the work that I do, which can be anywhere in the world, by the way, which is great. But finding the harmony is more important for me than anything else. Like I said, that sun is so funny that you picked up on it. I just love it. I love it. And
you ever thought about moving to this in America, but a warmer climate?
No, I'm not. I don't want to say no. I need to explore more. There's just something about the islands. I don't know what it is, and I feel like America still.
That's why everyone goes on vacation mostly in the island.
In the island, there's something charming.
You know what it is? It's the simplicity of life.
Yeah,
it is the simplicity of life.
I'm telling you, Danni, it's just too much, and as a nurse or a healthcare professional, you just see that, like you said, you don't have much time here. We really don't. And a lot of us don't know how to plan. Women do not plan. Men don't plan. We just show up. I was just reflecting earlier about my business. Someone was like, get a mic. I'm like, all right. Like, I didn't have a business plan. So it's just like, I just jumped on in. And I think that's what we do because we didn't have that example. So, this is why the reading is so great. Storytelling is so great. Because you can learn from it. And I think if you do that, you'll have one up. You have one up. And, we're just doing, the kids come home from school. What are you doing? The kids go, someone else is teaching them. You have to teach them too. And that's another thing with child rearing. I want to be able to teach whomever, and I just don't have that time. Like it's just a lot. The community is not what it used to be. My mom said in Jamaica.
You know what's lost in the community? The village.
That's what I'm saying. She said, Sharon, open your door. Knock. Here's Pablo. And then she said she went down to the other lady. Let me tell you
something. I am an example of that. Like,
I never had
just
that.
Having children. It's like, I got to balance my goals and I still have to be present with them and do their goals. And people are like, how do you do it? I was like, girl, it's like, I feel like I'm up 24/7.
Yeah. I was like, where do you sleep?
I don't, honestly, I don't, it's hard for me to sleep. That's why after this show, I might go take a power nap.
Good for you.
But it's just like, I don't really sleep because I have to be present. Like, people don't understand the responsibilities of having a kid. Like, if you're really going to have children and pour into your children, you better be in their life. You don't just make them and just throw them to the system.
I mean, that's what people do.
Go, I'll see you. No, like, I intentionally wanted to have children because I intentionally made the decision that once I have them, I'm going to do my best to pour into them. Because I am the CEO of my kid's life, not the school system, not any system. The buck stops with me.
Yes.
It's not for anyone to blame but myself. Because at the end of the day, when my kids come home, they're still learning. I'm still educating them.
I'm telling you, and that's what a lot of people are missing. You got to still learn. I mean, teach them.
You got to still teach them. You can't leave it for the system to teach your children. You are the parent. You are the CEO. Yes, I think school to me is like a supplement. But, it's a supplement, but my teachings is, I say it's better than the school teachings because I'm teaching them things that school's not even really teaching them.
Life skills.
Like this wonderful book.
Yes, I was going to say, soft skill development.
You know what?
Guys, y'all need to get this book.
She loves to read books. Like, she tries to read a book a week. She wrote this in one sitting.
Wow.
And it was part, and then she wrote it in her reading log for school. I love it. Yeah.
Yes, little sis, you better go promote Auntie. Promote.
Yeah, I should go promote Auntie now, because you know what? I'm teaching my kids right now. They're only 10, but I'm teaching them. You know what they always say, Mommy, you just talk to everyone. I'm in the elevator, I talk to everyone. I'm in the janitor. And I was just like, yeah, you have to talk to everyone because there's no such thing as a title.
Yeah.
You see a human being. You don't look at someone because they're doing something like you feel like it's beneath you. You give them the grace and the respect. Because the way the world goes round is the fact that we'll all have to do a job. I look at the ants. They all have a job to do to make this colony work.
Oh, so important. I think that it's one of my gifts. I'm so humble. You look at my shirt, it says be strategic, be humble, resilient. Like the humility, like that part is missing from society, Danni. That humble. Everybody is where the bag at. What are you doing for me, sir? I got the eyelashes on. It's
so you know why I think happens to society, and this is why my kids go to Sunday school like every Sunday possible. So and I go to church too, not all the time. I'm spiritual.
Yes,
it's the civility that's missing and the morality that's missing.
Oh my God!
Back when we were growing up, either
they were
standard. We hated it. We were in the church, and I understand that they want to pull church out of everything. This secular world that we are constantly living in is making people into inhumane people because
it's very toxic.
It's making them not have no morals. It's like YOLO, only live once. It's making them selfish. Like it's all about me. Like the narcissism is out of control. It's making people don't have civility and not care about the other human man, the human next
person
to you.
next to you.
Human next to you. They could say, I know religion has its thing. But let me just tell you something. I'm so happy that my parents instilled with me going into church, respecting elders. There's kids that walk in a room and don't even say hi to the elder. I'm sitting
Good evening.
Like, where is your home training? So you know what it is? You know what I think you're sad? You're witnessing the breakdown of society.
Yeah, and I think as a humanitarian, I'm reading about my gifts. It doesn't like this. We're very futuristic and visionaries. I don't like what's going on. And it's funny. My friend said, it's weighing heavy on you, Jess. Whatever that you're seeing, you don't like it. And I'm trying, and I want to fix it, Danni. And I think that has a lot to do with how I feel lately. It's just like, why show up? It's like me against the machine. And I'm such a doer. And I'm so happy you said that. It really is toxic. I don't like what I'm seeing. And
I'm gonna break down to the sad reality. It's not gonna get better.
Yeah.
I was talking. I went to one of my school administrators. We were just talking and how simple society was, and where it's going. We think today is not the best. Wait till 5 years from now. Then we're going to wish today was actually today. Right? The things that I'm seeing now that I never thought I would see ever in a lifetime. And now I have to protect my kids from it. I'm sad, but society is not going to get better. I'm a realist when it comes to that. That's why, you know what? Move to that island.
Yeah.
You know why it's important to move to that island? Because those territories in the world are still living the simple life.
The simple life. And that's the life. Yeah. And it's like, if I reproduce, how can I protect them from all of this? And that's another thing that gets me anxious, because like you said, it's a lot of reprogramming. Like, we're all reprogrammed. Well, I can't say all, but I know that a lot of the egos.
You could always reproduce and move there. Your kids don't have to be educated in America.
And honestly, America's education system is like suffering dramatically now more than ever. So
more money is pulled into this educational system, and these kids are not really learning like how.
But where's the funds go? Learning. How do we follow? See now, Danny. Okay, you know what? We need to wrap this up, because now I'm like, I need to follow the money. You gotta have me researching, because I love to.
Girl, they spend about, like, in my school district alone, I think they spend about like $40,000 per kid.
Oh my God.
But I have to say, I live in one of the best school districts in New York State and in the country. My taxes are high,
right?
But there's a reason why. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, you live in a high," but you know what? It's the cost of education now. Just it like is the cost of education system. Now. If you want a really, really good education, you gotta pay for it. And I'm not saying there's school districts that you don't have to pay for it.
Right.
You know what it is? I feel like when like-minded people, see, everyone in our area pays high school taxes, right? I think we pay it because we like, you know what? We know the importance of education. Mm-hmm. So we're all like-minded. Like, most of us are all involved in our kids. I'm like the mayor of like my school district, because I walk in there, everyone's like, Daddy. And it's only because I intentionally want to be involved, because I need to know what's going on with my kids.
Yeah.
Because schools don't really let you win.
And that's the thing.
Unless you join a committee,
right?
Unless you join a PTA. So I've learned. I gotta write a book about this. I've learned how to navigate the educational system in school. Good to know. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of parents don't know how to navigate it.
But Danny, how can they, when they're clocking in and out all the time? Why are we working so many hours? Why isn't there?
You know what? Bernie Sanders.
Don't get me started.
Bernie Sanders wanted to cut the work time to 32 hours a week. And let me just say, I know we're going to have to wrap up. We'll have this conversation another time. But let me just tell you this. The reason that this world's going amok is there's no parenting at home.
Nope.
Kids go to school at 8 a.m. They're coming home at 1. Parents are at work. Who are watching these kids, right? So it's a blind leading the blind. It's kids leading kids, right? Mm-hmm. Because either the dad has to work full time, the mom has to work full time. So no one is home with the kids. So you want to know why this shit is all fucked up? It's because there's no one home with the kids.
Nobody. It's this. It's the iPad. Well, I don't have an iPad. It's all the gadgets, right? Dora, all the things that are raising your kids, and that scares me too as well. So it's like,
and so you know what? When corporate America wants people to work more hours, like I heard, like Elon Musk says, like remote sucks. I like remote. You want to know why? Give a parent 1 day a week that the kid doesn't know they're gonna be home, so I can catch you out there.
Yeah,
you could be coming in with a door with 30 million friends, and I could be like,
aha,
I'm home today. Because kids are so smart. They know the parents are home on the weekend. So all that fuckery is being done during the week. I know I was a kid. But let me tell you, my mom would do pop-ups all the time. My mom would be like, oh, yeah, I'm off today. You didn't know? I'd be like, oh, shit, I didn't know.
Yeah.
One time I got knocked out with a telephone in my head.
We can't even, you can't even do it. You can't even conk. My mom used to go like this and conk us.
Yo, you know what? I still conk. Because you want to know why? Either I want to give my kids boundaries, or the cops will.
Yeah, that's that part. Yeah. Policing.
No, I don't. My kids know I love them, but I'm still conking.
Conking. Very important. I'm glad she
gotta give my kids boundaries. I have to give my kids a level of like, you got to respect people. And I'm not saying like if you're sexually abused, or I'm not saying molesting people. I'm just saying some authority, if they say something, you better follow directions.
True.
Or you're going to embarrass me. And that includes acting correct in school. And if you have an issue, you come to me and I go to school and I go handle it.
That's it. That
you know,
is
so
it.
I'm just telling you, parents need time to be with their kids. And if you feel like you don't have time, then don't have the kids.
Yeah.
But Jessica, thank you so much for coming on. I'm proud of you, sis. I'm giving you
Thank
flowers.
you.
So many people are feeling just like you. I just want to say I love you, sis. I'm proud of you, sis.
Thank you.
And thank you for everyone joining. And we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.